Hey guys, how are we doing? So this week we're looking at different types of graphs. Two types of graphs in particular. We've got our column graphs and our dot plot graphs. So these are two different ways of us showing information that we're going to get. So for instance, what we're going to do, we're going to start off with looking at our column graphs. So if I was going to write some information such as, let's look at different ways that we might go home from school. So I'm going to make this information up. So some people get the bus home. Let's say that 34 people do that. Some people might get a car home with their parents. Let's say about 50 people do that. And the last one, some people walk home. So let's say that, I don't know, 14 people do that. We've already got 4, let's change it to a 6. We're 15. All right, so there's our information. As you can see over here, we've already got our table. So we're going to look at ways of how we're going to put that information into a column graph. So for starters, we know that we've got our 3 different methods: bus, car, and walk. We're going to write them over here. So we've got bus, car, and walk. All right, the next step is we need to figure out what kind of numbers we're going to use. Are we going to go up in 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s? That's up to you based on our information over here. So because ours goes up to about 50, we can figure out how many boxes we've got. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to go up in 5s just because that's easiest. So on our solid line at the bottom, we always start with the 0 because that's our lowest number. Then I'm going to go up in 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, and 50. So to start off with, we're going to look at our bus. So our bus had 34 people caught the bus. So in our column that starts with where the bus is, so we're going to color that because we know more than 5, all the way up to 34, which looks like it would be about there. So we would color all of this. Your coloring will be much better than mine because you're going to color it in with no white spaces showing. I'm just doing a rough copy. Next one, a big one. We've got our car, which goes all the way up to 50. So 50 is our last line. So we're going to color in every box as well as we can. Remember, the neater the coloring, I know that you're putting in as much effort as you can and making it look real neat so that I know exactly how much you're looking at. And our last one is walk. So our walking is our last one, and that goes up to 15. So up to that line there, so we would color it in nice and neatly. So based on that, I know that more people take a car home more than bus, and the least one is walk home, which is about 15 people. Now our last step is we need to label everything. So we need to give our table a title, our graph, sorry. So I'm going to call it our ways people get home from school. The next step is we need to label our axes. So this is our number axis and our method axis. So I'm going to call it number of people, and then over here I'm going to write method, because that's the method that people get home. Now that's an important thing because you'll lose marks if you don't have those labels in your graphs in your assessment. All right, the next one is we're going to look at a dot plot type of graph. So there's a whole lot of information here, but it's pretty simple to work out. So once again, so our topic is number of hops people did in 10 seconds. Now I've just taken this straight from the stepping stones in our step in, so it's going to be real easy. So our first step is we need to look at the lowest possible number, because that's going to go in our first box over here. So the lowest possible I can see, so we've got 15, 16, 18, 24, I know is 15. So I'm going to put 15 for that box. Our highest one, looking at that would be about 24, I believe. So I put 24 up there. Then we can fill in the gaps. So we got 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Ooh, so see how there's a big gap there? I might rub it out and we can change it up. Well, that didn't work at all. So I'm going to leave that as 15. I might like to change this one to 16. Might do it every second one. Oops, that still doesn't work, so we're not going to have enough room. Alright. Well, I'm just going to make it quite a small one and just go 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Alright, the next step is we're going to cross off each of those and put a dot in our graph. So we're not going to use these sides, so we get rid of that. Don't need that. So every time I see 15, I'm going to put a dot in one box. So our first one, 15, I'll cross that off and put a dot in. 15, put another dot in. 20, go over to 20 and put a dot. 16, 24, 19, 18, 18, 17, 21, 19, 18, 19, 21, 18, 15, 18, 17, 17, 16, and 22. Then we need to give it a label, so we might call it hops. Then we put our number, and we would put on this side, we would write our amount. Now, it doesn't matter what you label it, as long as you're labeling it something to do with what we're talking about. So, now that looks like a lot of information from here, but it's put a lot neater in our little graph over here. So we know easily that no one got 23 hops, but we know that 5 people got 18 hops in 10 seconds. So that's an easy way of presenting information. All right, so what I want you to do now is in your books, I want you to draw a column graph. So we're going to do a column graph showing, let's go number of, let's do ways we go to school again. So we go school, transport. There's a title for you right there. Let's go walk, car, and bus. And I want your information to be, let's go 12 people, 32, and 6. All right, put that in a column graph and come show me in the morning. Good luck, guys, and thanks for watching.